I came home early from a business trip, only to find a piece of sexy purple lingerie on my marital bed. Lingerie that wasn't mine. I cried and screamed, demanding an explanation from my husband, but he flew into a rage and slapped me hard. How dare you ask about this lingerie? I'll beat you, you promiscuous bitch. My parents-in-law, who'd always treated me like their own daughter, stared at me with disgust. What sin did our family commit to marry such a woman? Get out of the Harris house. Stunned by the slap, I cried to my parents that Dylan had cheated. I vowed to find the owner of the purple lingerie and make him leave the marriage with nothing. But my parents, who'd spoiled me my whole life, suddenly turned cold. If you dare keep investigating the woman in the purple lingerie, we'll disown you. Grief and confusion overwhelmed me. Why did everyone turn on me the second they heard about the purple lingerie? Who exactly was my husband's mistress? Before we continue, subscribe to this channel and tell us where you're listening from in the comments. My cheek burned with pain, and anger surged through me. I held my face, my voice choking with fury. You cheated on me, and now you're committing domestic violence. Dylan stared at me blankly. What proof do you have that I cheated? I grabbed the purple lingerie from the bed and threw it at him. What more proof do you need? I hate purple. I never wear anything purple. Dylan glanced at it, and his expression exploded with rage. You bitch. How dare you bring this up? His face ashen. He lunged at me, ready to hit again. The commotion woke George and Margaret, my parents-in-law. They burst through the door. Panicked, George tackled Dylan, while Margaret pulled me behind her, shielding me tightly. Dylan, what are you doing? Margaret's voice seethed with anger. In 3 years of marriage, my parents-in-law had treated me like their own daughter. Seeing them, the tears I'd been holding back finally fell. Margaret hugged me, comforting me. Chloe, don't worry, we'll stand up for you. George glared at Dylan, furious. If you don't give us a reasonable explanation, I'll beat you senseless. Dylan looked at me with pure disgust. Chloe's the one who's shameless. I wiped my tears, glaring back. You cheated, and now you're hitting me to cover it up. I picked up the purple lingerie from the floor and showed it to George and Margaret. This is proof that mistress left her clothes on our bed. If I hadn't come home a day early, I'd never have discovered the secret. When their eyes landed on the purple lingerie, their expressions changed drastically. Margaret suddenly shoved me to the ground. Gone was her gentle demeanor. She pointed at me and shouted, "We were blindfolded to let such a disaster marry into our family." George stared down at me, his gaze cold and hateful. Dylan, divorce Chloe immediately. Make her leave. I was completely stunned. Dylan was the one who cheated? Why were they treating me like this? So their kindness had all been an act. Now their true colors were exposed. My hands trembled with anger. Fine, divorce it is. I'll make Dylan this cheater leave with nothing. Dylan scoffed. We'll see who ends up with nothing. My parents-in-law looked at me like I was a clown. Humiliated, I clenched my fists. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was a video call from my mom. My parents were known for spoiling me. If they found out Dylan had cheated and hit me, they'd rush over with a knife to avenge me. Chloe, come over with Dylan this weekend. Mom's making your favorite beef brisket with tomatoes. Tears filled my eyes again. Mom, I'm getting divorced from Dylan. In an instant, my dad snatched the phone. His voice was urgent and furious. Did Dylan hurt you? Chloe, don't cry. Dad will fix this. I sobbed. Dylan cheated on me and hit me. Mom and Dad, I have to divorce him. Silence fell on the other end. My dad's expression turned cold and unfeeling. No, you can't divorce Dylan. My breath caught. But Dylan cheated. I found purple lingerie on his bed. My mom cut me off hastily. Maybe the lingerie is yours. And you forgot. You've always been scatterbrained. You buy clothes and never wear them. That's enough. Chloe, Dylan treats you so well, he'd never cheat. Stop making a scene. Across from me, Dylan and his parents looked at me with even more contempt. I tried to explain, but you know I hate purple. That lingerie could never be mine. Enough. My mom, who'd never raised her voice at me, snapped. I told you to drop this about the lingerie. Do you not understand? She stared at me, her eyes filled with disappointment. I fell silent, dumbfounded. Panic, confusion, grievance, anger. I could only watch as my dad forced an obsequious smile and said to Dylan and my parents-in-law, "Dear in-laws, Chloe's talking nonsense. Young couples fight. It's a trivial matter. Let them handle it. Us parents shouldn't interfere." My parents-in-law snorted coldly, looking down their noses. Trivial. This is trivial. Dylan's too kind to marry a woman like Chloe, and she has the nerve to talk about divorce and making him leave with nothing. My dad apologized repeatedly. We failed to raise her right. Chloe, apologize to your in-laws and Dylan. I looked up, stunned. Apologize? Why should I apologize? Dylan was the cheater. It was one thing for my parents-in-law to side with him. But why would my own parents, who'd always doted on me, not stand up for me? Why were they forcing me to apologize to Dylan's family? They were the ones in the wrong. Anger and sorrow burned through my rationality. On the other end of the call, my mom's face darkened. Chloe, be reasonable. We're doing this for your own good. You're overthinking and misunderstanding Dylan. Apologize now. It felt like someone was choking me. My heart sank to the bottom. I managed to whisper, I'm not wrong. My parents looked at me with deep disappointment, as if I'd committed a heinous crime. Dear in-laws, we'll come in person to apologize this weekend. Chloe's still young. Please don't hold it against her. The call ended, but I stood frozen. Dylan and his parents couldn't even bear to look at me. They slammed the door and left. Before Margaret left, she warned me, throw that lingerie away. If it's still here when I get back, even if your parents get on their knees, this divorce will happen. Swallowing my anger and frustration, I called my best friend Nora. When she heard I was upset, she took the day off to come see me. After I told her everything, Nora flew into a rage. Why won't your parents let you divorce? Dylan's a cheater. He should be kicked out with nothing. Chloe, I support you. You have to get a divorce. By the way, how did you find out Dylan cheated? I frowned, about to mention the purple lingerie, but then I remembered the strange reactions from my parents-in-law and my own parents. The words died on my lips. Hurry up. Are you even going to tell me? I stared at Nora, thinking about our lifelong friendship. Slowly, I spoke, because I found a piece of purple lingerie on our marital bed. In an instant, all the color drained from Nora's face. Her eyes darted, and the righteous anger she'd felt moments ago vanished. Purple. She forced an awkward smile. Did you misremember? Dylan's the perfect husband. How could he cheat? You're joking, right? I grabbed her shoulders, furious and frustrated. I'm not joking. Dylan really cheated. Why would I lie about something like this? Why doesn't anyone believe me? I'm going to find out who that mistress is, and I'm going to divorce Dylan. Nora fell silent. After a long while, she hung her head and said hoarsely, let it go. Chloe, the lingerie might just be a misunderstanding. Stay with Dylan and stop investigating who it belongs to. I stared at her in shock. Nora had a severe dislike for infidelity. A month ago, her childhood sweetheart, whom she dated for 10 years, had flirted with an influencer online. When she found out, she broke up with him immediately, no matter how much he knelt and apologized. She refused to take him back. Back then, I tried to persuade her. It was just online flirting. Ethan didn't actually cheat. You've been together for 10 years and already planned the wedding. Can't you give him one chance? Nora had been sad, but she'd shaken her head firmly. Emotional cheating is just as disgusting as physical cheating. Chloe, don't believe those cheaters' tearful apologies. They're all acting. But now, just a month later, she was telling me to ignore Dylan's physical cheating and stay with him. I took a deep breath. Why? Why does everyone change their tune when they hear about the purple lingerie? Do you know who Dylan's mistress is? Nora's eyes grew even more guilty. How would I know? But Chloe, trust me, I'm doing this for your own good. Stop obsessing over this. Okay. She even looked at me with a hint of pleading. I pushed her hand away. I was wrong about you. Leave. Nora hesitated, then left, looking worried. I picked up the strange purple lingerie and stared at it. My doubts grew stronger, overshadowing my anger. Who did this purple lingerie belong to? Why was everyone hiding something? I made up my mind. I had to find the owner of this purple lingerie. When I did, I refused to believe my parents would still oppose the divorce. While everyone was out, I secretly hired workers to install hidden cameras in the house. Then, using our Cold War as an excuse, I checked into a hotel, giving Dylan space to cheat. That night, lying in the hotel bed, I opened the live feed from the cameras. A woman in sexy purple lingerie was lying on my marital bed, making out with Dylan. I widened my eyes. I tried to see her face, but Dylan kept blocking her. All I could see was that hated shade of purple, but it was enough. With this video, Dylan's cheating was undeniable. By the weekend, I'd confront Dylan and his parents with this evidence. The weekend came quickly. Dylan and my parents-in-law still glared at me. When my parents arrived, they sat arrogantly on the couch, waiting for my parents' apology. My parents brought expensive gifts, looking embarrassed by the humiliation, but still forcing smiles. Dear in-laws, Chloe was being unreasonable. We apologize on her behalf. Seeing their humble expressions, tears filled my eyes. I pulled them up. I'm not wrong. Why should we apologize? Dylan's the one at fault. They should be apologizing to us. I pulled out my phone and started playing the video. Moans of intimacy filled the living room. Everyone's expressions changed drastically. sarcastically. I smiled at Dylan, about to speak, when a sharp pain shot through my wrist. My phone was snatched and smashed hard on the ground. The screen went black, and the moans stopped. Before I could react, my dad raised his hand and slapped me hard. Taking secret videos? Have you no shame? Like an enraged bull, he rushed into the bedroom and smashed all the cameras I'd installed. Dad, why? I held my face, completely stunned. My mom grabbed my shoulders tightly, her eyes filled with disappointment and pain. Why won't you listen? Why did you have to investigate that purple lingerie? Now our whole family will be a joke because of you. You're not allowed to look into this anymore. If you don't stop, your dad and I will disown you. In that moment, they stood firmly on Dylan's side. The air felt thick with tension. I could barely breathe. My head throbbed with a stabbing pain. I bent down to pick up my phone and stumbled out of that suffocating house. I took my phone to a repair shop and got it fixed. I'd installed more than one camera in the bedroom. The more they tried to stop me, the more determined I was to find the truth. I opened the video feed. The woman in the purple lingerie was back on the marital bed. Her face was still out of frame due to the angle. I frantically scrolled through the footage until I found a split second where she accidentally revealed her face. I paused the video and zoomed in. The second I saw her face, my pupils contracted violently. That woman, she looked exactly like me. My phone clattered to the ground. I touched my face in terror. How was this possible? Who was she? I thought of my parents' strange reactions and hurried to pick up the phone, planning to call them for answers. But the woman in the video stared straight at the camera, as if she was looking right at me. I pushed down my panic and called my parents. But the phone rang and rang. No one answered. They must still be angry with me. I bit my lip, unsure what to do. Suddenly, I remembered Nora's odd behavior and called her. As always, she rushed to my side. I asked eagerly, "Do you know the woman in the purple lingerie?" Nora avoided my gaze, repeating the same line, "Chloe, stop investigating the purple lingerie. I won't tell you anything." I stared at her intensely. Why? We've been best friends for over 10 years. Why are you helping Dylan hide this from me? Nora just shook her head. I'm not helping Dylan. I'm helping you. But I already found out who the woman in the purple lingerie is. I cut her off. Nora looked up at me, her eyes filled with shock. I pushed down my fear, pulled up the video, and held the face in front of her. You know her, don't you? Who is she? Why does she look exactly like me? Nora wasn't prepared for the close-up. Her pupils shrank. When she stayed silent, I grew more anxious. Tell me, at this point, do you still want to keep hiding it? Nora sighed softly. Do you really want to know the truth? I nodded vigorously. Okay, Nora said, pointing at the woman in the video who looked just like me. Have you ever thought that it's not that she looks like you? It's that you're the same person. I gasped, denying it immediately. That's impossible. How could she be me? Nora looked at me with sorrow. Chloe, what I'm about to say will be hard to believe, but it's all true. I'm not lying. You have dissociative identity disorder. The woman who likes to wear purple lingerie is your alter ego. Nora's words hit me like a sledgehammer. She was terrified by your alter ego. After that, your parents made you commute to school instead of boarding. They've been taking you to doctors and giving you medication ever since. By college, you never had another episode. Nora and I thought you were cured. We never expected it to come back now. That's why we stopped you from investigating the truth. We were afraid of triggering you and making your condition worse. My head spinning, I grabbed her hand, begging, this is a lie, you're joking. Right. If you don't believe me, ask your parents. They love you more than anyone. They'd never lie to you. The door opened, and my parents walked in, sighing. When they saw me sitting on the couch, they exploded with anger. Chloe, if you refuse to apologize to Dylan's family, get out of this house. I looked at their angry yet sorrowful faces, and all my grievances and doubts poured out. Why? Because I have dissociative identity disorder. My parents' eyes widened in horror. How did you find out? Their reaction confirmed my worst fear. It was true. I really had dissociative identity disorder. The woman in the purple lingerie on the marital bed was really me. Now that I knew the truth, they sighed and finally revealed their long-hidden secret. We first noticed you had a second personality when you were in middle school. We took you to countless doctors and gave you medication. By the time you started college, the alter ego had faded. Then you married Dylan, and your life was happy. We thought the purple-loving alter ego was gone for good, until the day you told us Dylan had cheated with a woman in purple lingerie. We realized your alter ego had returned. My mom took my hand, her eyes filled with sadness. We were afraid if word got out about your mental illness, Dylan's family would abandon you. So we did everything to hide it, forbidding you from investigating the woman in the purple lingerie. I was in a daze. So Dylan and my parents-in-law grandma turned on me because they thought I was delusional and suspected I was mentally ill. My parents nodded solemnly. Chloe, don't blame us for not taking your side. Strictly speaking, Dylan didn't cheat, and with this illness, if you get divorced, you'll never marry again. That's why we're so against it. I never expected the truth to be this cruel. My mom hugged me, crying. It's okay, Chloe. We'll take you to get treatment. If you recovered once, you can recover again. They took me to a private clinic. The doctor seemed to recognize me and prescribed medication without hesitation. Take it 3 times a day. Don't forget, because of my condition, I didn't divorce Dylan, but I moved back in with my parents. Nora worried about me and invited me to shop and chat every weekend. One day, I was waiting for Nora at an outdoor cafe, about to take my medication, when a woman walked up and greeted me warmly. Chloe, it really is you. I froze for a moment before recognizing Mia, a classmate from college. Mia smiled and sat across from me. Her eyes glanced at my medication, and her smile froze. Chloe, why are you taking this medicine? I grabbed the bottle instinctively, vague in my explanation. I've been a bit stressed lately. It's just some sedatives. Mia's tone turned serious. But this medicine can cause mental confusion. What? I was confused. Mia took the bottle and examined it, her expression growing more serious. I studied neurology after graduation. What's wrong with you? Why are you taking this? I bit my lip, unsure how to explain. Mia sensed my hesitation and changed the subject. But this medicine is rarely prescribed to patients. She even searched for it on her phone, showing me the warning, use with caution, it may cause severe mental confusion. My mind went blank. My parents took me to get this medicine. They said I have dissociative identity disorder and need it to get better. Mia frowned. You have dissociative identity disorder. She looked me up and down. Could there be a misunderstanding? You don't seem to have any mental illness. My head was a mess. I couldn't help but tell Mia everything that had happened recently. After listening, Mia muttered, "Purple lingerie, purple." Chloe. Nora arrived just then, waving from a distance. Mia looked up at her, a look of realization crossing her face. I remember Nora used to love wearing purple clothes, didn't she? Her words hit me like a thunderbolt. I looked at Mia in panic, but she was already greeting Nora. I won't keep you too. Enjoy your shopping. As she left, Mia whispered in my ear, check the size of that purple lingerie. Then you'll know if it's really yours. Mia was gone, but her words lingered in my mind. Nora and I had been best friends since middle school. She'd always loved wearing purple, though lately, she'd avoided it when seeing me, presumably to not trigger my condition. Could the purple lingerie really be hers? I didn't dare think about that terrible possibility. Nora noticed I was distracted, and we cut our shopping trip short. Before leaving, she reminded me, take your medicine on time. You'll get better. I stumbled back home. The first thing I did was find the purple lingerie. Lucky for me, I'd kept it out of curiosity instead of throwing it away. I was about to check the size when the door opened. My mom walked in with a glass of warm water. Chloe, take your medicine first. My body stiffened. I quickly tucked the purple lingerie under the covers. My mom looked at me suspiciously. What are you hiding? I forced a stiff smile. Nothing, Mom. I'll take the medicine later. No. My usually gentle mom was unusually firm about the medicine. She pulled the bottle from my bag, poured out a pill, and held it out. Take it now. I swallowed the pill. My mom watched with satisfaction. Come out for dinner soon, she said. The moment she left, I rushed to the bathroom and spit it out. Lifting the covers, I spotted the tag of the purple lingerie, size S. But I wore a size M. Nora wore a size S. A wave of panic washed over me. Betrayed by my best friend and my husband, I felt utterly helpless. Normally, I'd turn to my family, but knowing my parents had lied about my illness and helped cover for Nora, I didn't dare say a word. Why were my parents lying? Nora had broken up with her boyfriend just a month ago. When did she and Dylan get together? My head was pounding, desperate for comfort. I ended up confiding in Mia. I stumbled through the story, then tried to convince myself. Nora and I have been friends for over 10 years. I can't believe she'd do this. And the woman in the video looks just like me. Maybe I'm misunderstanding her. Even if the lingerie is size S, that doesn't prove she's the mistress. Mia shattered my denial. Nora's a popular cosplayer now. Right. Makeup and disguise are easy for her. With blurry footage, pretending to be you would be a piece of cake. I fell silent. Mia sounded almost frustrated. The evidence is right in front of you. Purple is her favorite color. The lingerie is her size. She's been stopping you from digging deeper. Haven't you heard? Beware of your best friend. She's probably been jealous of your marriage all along. My head hung low. Mia sighed. Fine. If you still won't face it, let's make a bet. What kind of bet? You're separated from Dylan now, right? I refuse to believe he and Nora haven't hooked up again since. Don't tell him you're coming. Show up unannounced. I guarantee there'll be another purple lingerie on your marital bed. Are you in? I looked at Mia and nodded silently. Half a month later, I suddenly invited my parents and Nora to Dylan's apartment. It wasn't until we arrived that Nora noticed Mia with us. She looked confused. Mia, what are you doing here? Mia smiled cryptically. I'm here to watch the show. Without explaining, I led them inside. Dylan's face flashed with guilt when he saw me. What are you doing here? He instinctively blocked the bedroom door. I pushed past him. There, laid out plainly on the marital bed, was a piece of purple lingerie. I stared coldly at Dylan. Whose is this? He opened his mouth, but I cut him off. I haven't been back in a month. I threw the last one out. You can't possibly say this is mine too, can you? Dylan's face darkened. He looked like a man defeated. I don't know what you're talking about. My parents and Nora stared in shock, bombarding him with questions. What's going on? Whose lingerie is this? Nora pointed angrily at Dylan. You scumbag. You actually cheated on Chloe. As she shouted, Mia scoffed. Stop pretending. You're the mistress, aren't you? Nora's eyes widened, her face flushing with anger. What are you talking about? Mia laughed and looked at me. I win. Yes, you did. I nodded. Then my tone shifted. But I didn't lose, because I caught Dylan's real mistress. It's you, Mia. Everyone froze at the sudden twist. After a stunned moment, Mia regained her composure. She frowned. I know it's hard to accept your best friend's betrayal, but don't take it out on me. That's ungrateful. If it weren't for me, you'd still be in the dark. I tried to help you, and now you're framing me. No good deed goes unpunished. She spoke calmly, logically. Even my parents tugged my sleeve, confused. Chloe, what's happening? I shook my head, addressing Mia. If you hadn't been so eager to pin it all on Nora, I might not have suspected you so soon. The lingerie is Nora's favorite color, her size, and she knows makeup and disguise. Everything was too perfect. Too perfectly set up to make me believe it was Nora and no one else. I paused, shaking my head. I only told you the mistress left purple lingerie, but you kept circling back to it, hinting how much Nora loved purple, as if you were terrified I wouldn't suspect her. Second, I never told you Dylan and I were separated. Yet you knew. How? I asked softly. Mia's calm mask slipped, but she played dumb. I don't know what you mean. I just guessed. You two were having problems, so separation made sense. Accusing me based on your imagination is ridiculous. Dylan snapped out of his daze, annoyed. Chloe, you're getting more delusional. Get treatment if you're sick. Stop this paranoia here. Nora stepped in front of me, furious. Then whose lingerie is on the bed? Chloe's been with her parents. She hasn't been back. That lingerie is yours, isn't it? Mia. Dylan refused to budge. Where's your proof? No proof means slander. Get out. Chloe, if you keep this up, I'll divorce you and sue you for hiding mental illness to trick me into marriage. My parents looked anxious, trying to pull me away. Chloe, let's go home. I dodged their hands and stepped closer to Dylan, who said I don't have proof. Climbing onto a chair, I grabbed a camera from the top of the closet and waved it. The proof is right here. Dylan's face turned ashen. I thought all the cameras were destroyed. I smiled. Who told you I only installed 2? In an instant, Dylan's expression turned vicious, like he wanted to lunge at me. He tried to grab the camera, but my dad stopped him just in time. Nora sensed trouble and immediately called the police. 10 minutes later, we were all at the station. Chapter 10. Dylan and Mia tried to keep up the act, but every move was on camera. Believing all cameras were gone, they'd cheated openly on my bed, even discussing their plan without restraint. I finally learned the truth. Dylan and Mia had gotten together 6 months ago. Mia had just returned to New York and ran into Dylan at his company. She'd had a crush on him in college, and with a little flirting, Dylan, already restless after 7 years of marriage, didn't hesitate. Afterward, Dylan wanted a divorce but didn't want the scandal or to leave empty-handed, so they plotted to make me leave voluntarily. Their plan, make me look mentally ill. As a medical student, Mia had heard rumors in college about my past dissociative identity disorder. She and Dylan teamed up to trigger another episode. That way, if I caught him cheating, they could claim I was delusional, that the mistress was just an alter ego. And my parents, upon hearing this, wouldn't blame Dylan. they'd help cover it up. But that wasn't enough. They wanted to truly break me. So Mia accidentally ran into me, discovered my medication was harmful, and made me doubt everyone around me. She pointed the finger at Nora, deliberately hinting she was the mistress. But their eagerness was their downfall. It led me to the truth. With irrefutable evidence, Dylan and Mia had nothing left to say. Pale-faced, they were arrested and taken away. Soon after, the divorce ruling came. Dylan was kicked out with nothing. I visited him once out of something like pity. If you'd just cheated, you wouldn't have lost everything. I sighed. But you listened to Mia and swapped my medicine to poison me. Now you're not just broke. You're behind bars. I shook my head, ignoring his look of regret, and walked slowly out of the detention center. To celebrate my escape from the cheater, Nora brought over a bottle of red wine. We drank until we passed out. I stumbled into bed, drunk. In the middle of the night, I woke up needing the bathroom. As I shuffled past the mirror, my drunkenness vanished instantly. In the mirror, I was wearing a familiar piece of purple lingerie.